Welcome, Yogi, to this full body yoga practice to leave you feeling energized and ready for the day ahead. We're going to begin in child's pose, so bring your knees to the mat. You can separate your knees a little bit and bring your big toes to touch and extend your hands forwards, allowing your forehead to come down to the ground. Close your eyes and begin by taking 3 deep breaths here. In through your nose and out through your nose. With Ujjayi breath, if you're familiar with that, that's like constriction in the back of your throat. Deep breath in. Fill all the way down to your low back. Slow breath out. One more, please, Yogi. When you next breathe in, come up to your tabletop. So slide your hands in under your shoulders, your knees in under your hips. Square everything up a little bit and begin with some cat-cows, tailbone tilting up, looking forwards and belly down. And as you exhale, draw the navel up and look back to your knees. Tuck your toes, lift your tail, look forwards, head up, big breath into your belly. And press the tops of your feet down as you round your back, chin to chest. One more of those, please. Tuck your toes, look forwards. Stretch your feet, your abdomen, your chest, into your upper back. And as you exhale, spread the shoulder blades wide. Lift the middle of the back to the sky and tuck your tail to your knees. Pressing the tops of your feet down lightly. Come back to neutral, please. And stretch your left foot back. And for a moment, just give that ankle a little bit of movement. So some circles around with your foot. Just waking up the ankle in the lower leg. And go the other way. Keeping the belly firm as you do this. Keep lightly pushing into the ground with the knuckles and fingertips. And then pop your toes down onto the ground. So they're tucked under there. And press back through the heel to stretch slightly into your calf. Firm into the belly. Relax your jaw. Breathe in. And out. Another time, please, Yogi. Deep breath in. And out. Now shift the weight forwards, back over the shoulders, over wrists, and lift your foot. A deep breath in lifts it high, and as you exhale, bring your knee in towards your nose. Round in your back. Inhale, stretch your left foot back, looking a little forwards of your mat. Exhale, bring your knee in towards your nose. Inhale, stretch that foot straight back again, lifting through the glute a little. Exhale, bring your knee into your nose. Stretch it back, and then step your left foot forwards to just between the hands, near your left thumb. You can walk it up a little if needed, and sweep your hands straight up to the ceiling for low lunge or Anjaneyasana. Move forwards and down into your hips, lift your hands up high, and stretch through the front right side of the body. As this is an energizing practice, let's take the elbows wide into a cactus shape and lift up the chest a little bit more, opening all the way through the heart, facilitating here a full breath into belly and chest. Exhale. Stretch back up to the sky and take a slightly supported twist. Right hand to left knee, left hand straight behind you. Rotating, keeping the spine relatively upright, looking as far back towards the left hand as you can, turning belly, ribs on chest and head. One more breath here, please, Yogi. And you'll bring that left hand around to the front. Inside of your left foot, tuck your right toes under. Lift your right knee up and turn a quarter turn to your right. Turn all 10 toes that way. So you end up in a wide-legged fold. Lengthen your spine out. And as you exhale, fold a little deeper and walk your hands through between the feet. Your palms face down and your fingers face away from you in this. Starting to slightly bend your elbows. Relax your face. Notice the weight distribution in your feet. Take a lengthening inhale and deepening exhale. Good, another one of those, please, Yogi. Carefully stand up to star. So the weight goes into your feet. Stand up tall, send your arms out and up. Open into your chest, roll the hands back. And come to neutral. Turn your left foot forwards and come into a warrior two. Kick your right heel back a bit so your right toes are very slightly forwards. Left knee is going straight to the front of your mat. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Arms parallel to the ground. Lots of energy out through the fingertips and a lift through the front of your belly. Mula bandha is active. Uddiyana bandha in the ribs is also active. Turn your left palm to the ceiling. Stretch it up as your right hand comes to the thigh and reach up as high as you can and even possibly back. Just a little bit to stretch through the waist, the ribs, the underarm. Come back to your warrior two. Deep breath in. And continue around to the mat with your right hand. So you'll spin onto your right toes and bring your right hand down. Plant your right hand just in front of your shoulder. And then this is up to you. You can lower your right knee down and come into a side plank with your knee down. Stretching your left foot back. Or if you prefer, come onto the outer right foot and stack your left foot on top. Let's join in a side plank. Left hand reaching high for everybody. Whether your knees down or up. Hold 5. You can look down at your right hand. 4, 3. Nice and strong, Yogi. 2, feet both flexed. And 1, come down to the mat. And downward facing dog. Lift your hips, separate your feet. Soften your knees so that you can lift your tail high. Keep pushing through your arms. Stabilize the breath. Push through the thumb and first finger side of a hand, even though you're externally rotating your shoulders. And lower your knees down, land nice and light. Stretch your right foot straight back, keeping the navel lifted. Circle your right foot. Just taking in a couple of circles around one way and the opposite way. And place your right toes down on the ground. Press back through the heel. Lift up through the navel. Relax your jaw. Stretch into the lower leg. And we'll move forwards back into the knee and the hands. Lift your right foot up. Big breath in. Knee to nose as you exhale. Inhale, stretch your foot back. Exhale, bring it in. Warming your body up gently. Inhale, stretch your foot back. Knee coming in. Stretch your foot back and pause. And step it forwards to your right thumb. Rise up with the hands. Lift them higher. Extend up through the fingertips. Move your hips forwards and down, Anjaneyasana. And just like we did on the other side, once you settle into your low lunge, bring your elbows wide, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and just open that bit more into the chest. Good. Stretch your hands up. We'll take your left hand to your right knee, and your right hand back behind you, coming into a vertical twist. So you've got that pressure of left hand to knee to help you turn here, turn belly, ribs, chest, and head. Still lunging. Take another breath. Good. And we'll come out of this nice and easy. And unravel down to the ground. Turning a quarter turn to the left this time. Pick up your back knee, tucking the toes. Turn to the left. The feet become parallel or slightly turned in. Now on this one, we're going a little bit differently. I'm going to lift up first, and if you can, clasp your hands behind your low back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then refold. And if your hands are glued to your low back, that's fine. And if possible, lift your hands away from your low back to stretch into your shoulders a bit more. So this is chest expansion in your wide-legged fold. Hold there, neck is relaxed. If your hands have moved away from your low back, you feel like your little fingers are reaching for the floor. The shoulder blades joined together, kneecaps lifted. Release your hands to your low back if they'd moved away, and then all the way down to the floor. Carefully desert rise up to star pose. Put the weight into your feet. Stretch your arms out and up, expansive and open into the front of your body. And bring it in, turning to warrior two at the front. Turn your right toes forwards. Kick your left heel back just a few degrees. Bend your right knee. Check down to make sure you can still see your right big toe. And move your chest a little forwards and back. Make sure that your shoulders are as much over your hips as you can manage for right now. Reach through the left and right fingertips equally. Arms as parallel to the ground as you can get for this moment. Relax your jaw. Turn your right palm to the sky. Stretch it up. Stay deep in your lunge with your right knee still pulling right. Left hand to left thigh. Reach up and back. Pause there for a moment. Stay with your breath. And we'll spin this down to the ground. Windmill it down. Bring your left hand to the earth and come onto your left toes. And then, like I said on the first side, you can lower your left knee down and send your right foot back, coming into a knee side plank. Or you can stack your feet. So you roll onto the outside of your left foot, stack your right foot on top, push your left arm, right arm is as straight up as you can. Lift your hips, engage front and back side of the body. 4, breathe, 3, 2, hang in there, yogi. And 1, release down to the ground carefully. Separate your feet, downward facing dog. And ripple forwards to a plank. Slowly lower through chaturanga to the ground. So remember to move forwards first. You may lower your knees or keep them up. Slow descent to the earth. Tops of the feet press down. And let's take the hands off the side of the mat with the elbows up wide. Roll your chest up, coming into a wide-handed cobra. Think heart forwards, ribs forwards and up. Soften down. Do that one more time, please. Roll up. And this time, drop your right shoulder into the center and look over your left upper arm. Stretch into your right shoulder a bit. Come up as you breathe in. Left shoulder to the middle, look over your right upper arm. Come back up to center, draw the heart forwards and up. And exhale, soften down. Hands under your shoulders. Press up to plank or knee plank. Downward facing dog. Knees can be soft. Heels are okay up or down. Keep the low back long as your priority. Walk your hands back to your feet. Push through the hands as they come to the back of your mat. And at the back, bend your knees. Come into a dangling pose. Release some tension from your low back if there's any there. You can help here to look gently side to side, even if your eyes are closed. And transitioning this into a hip stretch, widen your feet and turn your toes out. And if it's early in the day, you might need to boogie into this a little bit and just shimmy side to side and come into goddess. So when you're ready to, you can lower your heels both to the ground and your elbows inside of your knees. Hands up prayer, nice and tall up through the crown of your head. If this feels a little too much for today or any day, you can always put your heels on your blanket, which will make it a much more comfortable expression of this pose, I hope. Good, Yogi. Come into a forward fold now. Stretching the legs straight, parallel the feet. If you can't comfortably touch the floor, grab a block or a book or something to put under your hands. Tailbone lifts, inner thighs spin back a tiny bit and fold. Soften your knees, stand up, stretch your hands out and up to the sky. And hands to your heart. Put all of the weight into your left foot. Lift your right foot into tree pose, so you can either put it on your calf or you can lift your foot up to your thigh. Either one works. And we're going to use our tree pose for our side stretch today as well, as we move our spine in all of its different directions in your practice. So in this expression, once you've found your balance, set your eyes at something that's not moving. Send your left hand up to the ceiling. Your right hand can rest on your knee. And you'll try to side stretch. So reach your left hand to the right side of your mat. This may need you to take your left ribs over to the left. Notice how the weight distribution might change in the left foot, where you might need to be heavier on the inside or outside, depending on where the weight is shifting. Keep your eyes on one single point. You could reach your hand low, right hand low, sorry. 3. Hold what you got. 2. And 1. Come up carefully. Back to breath. And release your right foot. And do that same thing on the other side. You lift your left foot and you can go with your foot on your calf. That works. You can go with your foot on your thigh. Resist thigh into foot, foot into thigh, so you've got this lateral pressure keeping you solid. And send the right hand up, left hand to left knee. Set your eyes on one single point to help you balance and start to reach your right hand straight over to the left. The left hand can reach lower than the knee if it wishes. Open into the right ribs and the waist. Hold there, please, Yogi. Play around with it. If you fall out, make your way back in when you can. Another deep breath. And come up and out. Hands to prayer. And out, both feet to the floor. Take a deep breath, standing in Tadasana. Stretch your hands up. Deep breath in, look up and reach up. Exhale, fold forwards. Lift up halfway, stretch out your torso. Walk your hands forwards into your downward facing dog. Take 3 deep breaths in your down dog. Fill up with energy for the day ahead. Exhale any sleepiness, any stuckness. One more time. Lower your knees down to the ground. Take one more moment in a back bend, walking your hands forwards and out. Let your torso settle towards the ground in puppy pose. Rest your forehead, chin or chest on the earth. Keep your hips up over your knees. We'll just hold here for 5, 4, not forcing anything. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lift your navel, tuck your tail, tuck your chin. Walk your hands in. Cat the back, so round it up to the sky, chin to chest. Come to neutral. Sit back to your heels, child's pose. Stretch out your spine there. Walk your hands into next to your feet. Rest your head on the ground. Take a deep breath into your back. Slow breath out. 2 more of those, please, Yogi. Come to a kneeling position if you can. If kneeling is uncomfortable for you, you can take a seat at this time. Close your eyes. Tall up through the crown of your head. Place your hands together in front of your heart and thank yourself for coming to your mat. Take an energizing inhale all the way into the belly, into the chest. And let it go. Thank you for your practice, Yogi. Namaste. Thank you for joining me in this practice. Please remember to subscribe for more yoga videos and guided meditations.